What does it take to live a meaningful life? This is what I wanted to talk about in this video because after I did my last video, quite a few friends again reached out to me and they were like, you're so brave for getting up and leaving your country with your family and moving, and now you're living this seemingly happy life, because we know social media is the highlight reel. But I will admit that I'm living a rather carefree life right now. It didn't just happen, it took some doing. And so I wanted to share just a few tips. Gentle people, welcome back to the channel. I hope you can hear me clearly. I have no furniture in my house, so I can hear that there's an echo. It's making me really self-conscious, but we move. So I wanted to share just a few tips of mine that I think will be helpful in living a carefree life, or just living a more meaningful life, because not everybody's dream is to get up and the bird them outside won't give me a break. Morning, noon, and night, they're out there squeak, squeak. Anyways, not everybody's dream is to move out the country in order to find the happiness and the purpose that they're searching for. However, I have a few tips on how to do it, living the life that you already live, but infusing a little bit more joy in your life. How about it? So I'm in the kitchen today because I'm going to do one of the things that brings me joy, is make some kefir yogurt. So kefir is fermented milk. That's really all it is. It's something that I used to buy back in Jamaica, and I came here and I went to a kombucha workshop. And I really only went to the workshop just so I could get the SCOBY, because I knew how to make kombucha already. And I went and I got the SCOBY and I started making kefir as well. I just bought the kefir grains online. Kefir is, as I said, it's a sour milk. You ferment the milk and it infuses it with all of this wonderful pre and probiotics. So the biotics that you are buying off of the shelf in the pharmacy or from Amazon could never. Look it up. Kefir is the most probiotic filled food there is. And so it's really good for gut health. All of them something that we struggle with. And then a lot of people say, how do you eat the street food and remain healthy? Like, those are not the things that get me sick. It's me consuming kefir every day. It is expensive to buy, so I started making it for my own. I buy a 6-pack of milk. This is 6 liters of milk from the supermarket, probably once per week. That's less than $10 US. And for $10 US, I get enough yogurt and yogurt drinks and fermented. I get a lot of product from this $10, less than $10 for the week. And when I was buying yogurt and kefir every week, don't ask me what that bill was. You know what it is like to buy. I have a teenager. She and I go through a tub of Greek yogurt. We can go through it in a day, but I had to be like, make sure you only take 2 spoonfuls out of it. And now we're eating big, ginormous bowls of kefir yogurt every day, simply because we can, because I make a lot of it every day. So I'm about to make some, so I thought I'd just show you the process while I explain to you, my tips on how to live a more meaningful life. The first tip, of course, is going to be to define what makes a more meaningful life for you. So for me, I am sort of a very natural lover. I love to make my own skincare, my own hair care. That's kind of why I have this on my head, this video, because it's wash day and I'm about to blend up some things to put in my hair. If you go way back on this channel, maybe 5 years ago on this channel, you will see me blending up aloe vera and avocado and all of the things that you find in your kitchen. This little bit of honey that I have left behind me is going in my hair. So yeah, I love all things natural as much as I can, because I love to go out and eat food too. But even these, so look at this. I have these 2 big jars of oregano here. Try to get organic if you can, but I'm about to steep this in olive oil for 2 weeks to make an oregano oil tincture, if you will. Oregano oil is something that is also good for, it's like an antibiotic. So anytime you go a doctor and then get antibiotic pills where kill off all of the good something them in your belly, all you really need is some oregano oil to kill that bacteria, and it's all natural. Anyways, I could sit here and talk about natural things all day long. But the point I'm trying to make is, you need to figure out for yourself what brings you joy. For me, it's making natural things, making natural hair care, natural skincare, and natural foods to feed my family. And my family is just me and my daughter, but still. This is my jar of kefir here. So I'm about to show you my little contraption. All it is, as I said, this is This jar holds 2 liters of milk, but I never put, full it up. So it's like a liter and about 3/4 of milk, and the kefir grains are in there fermenting it. It only takes 24 hours. So every day, every morning I get up, I have fresh kefir, which I then make into yogurt. This is just kefir milk, which I'm going to make into yogurt. So tip number 1 is definitely finding out what brings you joy. Write it down. What are some of the things that you wish you had the time for? Why may I have all of this in my video? I'm supposed to clean up the place so the place look nice and, presentable before I start record. But now watch my face. It's a very well-used kitchen, okay? Right. What are some of the things in your life that bring you joy? For me, as I said, it's making natural products. It's also going out and learning new things. This I learned on YouTube because, YouTube University is a thing. I've always wanted to make my own earrings, and these are, let me come up and show you a close-up. These are clay earrings. I don't know if you can see them. Every time I wear them out, I get compliments on them, and these are the very first ones that I made. So they're full of flaws, but I love them because they're my very first one that I ever made, and I think they're gorgeous. And now that I'm kind of settled back into my space, I can't wait to pull out the kit and make some more. But as I said, I love those kind of things, learning these kind of things, making stuff with my hands. We kind of love them something there. And so you have to find the time to do these things that bring you joy. Now, if you're in a 9-to-5 environment and then on the weekends, you can't find the time to do what you do because you have to do a whole heap of run around, you have to go to the supermarket and do all the things. Where do you find the time? A lot of us have PTO that we don't use, vacation days that we don't use. Why not try to use some of them strategically? Maybe schedule one Friday off every month to go do a workshop or go do something that you enjoy. When I used to work part-time, when Munchkin was about 5 or 6 years old, I had a job that stopped at 3 p.m. so I could go and pick her up from school. And I had Fridays off. I used to use my Fridays for like my spa day, do my hair, do my nails, do my everything. Because you know that going to the salon on a Saturday morning is all day kill vibes. So I really enjoyed my Fridays, and I used them as like my spa days, as I said. But you can use it to do anything that you want to do. So I feel like you should be using your PTO to schedule strategic things that bring you more joy. So tip number 1 was writing down what you want to do, what brings you joy. What are the things that you wish you had time for? Do you want to learn guitar? Do you want to do do you want to do some salsa lessons? Do you want to do woodworking? Find some things that bring you joy, and not to make money, just to bring you joy, and then schedule some time to go do them. So important, because these are the little things that bring you joy. For me, again, it was also getting out in nature. I used to live in Jamaica, now I live in Mexico. I want to be anywhere near water. So in Jamaica, it was going to the rivers, the waterfalls. I have content on this channel, as again, years back, of me and Munchkin chasing out the waterfalls. I used to love those times. Now we're in Mexico. I'm trying to make sure that we visit all the cenotes that we can, because I still love water, and that's what Mexico, this region of Mexico, is famous for, all the cenotes. We've only been to 2 so far, so I have a bunch more to go to. Stay tuned for some of that content. But let's get into this kefir if you're interested in this. So yesterday I put my kefir grains in this, and I'm going to now turn this into kefir yogurt. But I have a little tip for you, because a lot of y'all are going to say to me, I don't have time to make my own yogurt, so I just buy it. But buying it is so expensive, and it's not as healthy as this one, I promise you. So I bought this little contraption. Look at it. I'm going to link it below. You can get it on Amazon. It's called a kefir cage. And the grains that ferment the milk are inside of this thing. And so all you do is you buy a bunch of these jars. If you don't have a daughter, you won't go through as much as I do. You don't need this big one. Just buy a regular old mason jar and get this thing. I bought the big one. We have small ones too. And you move it from jar to jar. Yesterday, the cage was in this one. And all I did was take it out, put it in this, pour some milk in this, and put it away. And in 24 hours, you do the same thing again. How easy is that? How easy is that? So once you take it out and you put it in the new jar and you put milk over it, what do you do with the kefir that's left in the bottle. It's ready, it's actually ready to consume. And from there, what I usually used to do with it is mix it with yogurt, because kefir milk itself is kind of runny, but you want like a yogurt consistency to make your yogurt, right? But you can also do a second fermentation, which is what is in this. Okay, you see how this is a different color? So this, I blended mango and banana yesterday, and a little bit of the kefir, just blended it up so I could get, you know, that consistency, and put it in the kefir that was left in this jar, left it out for just a couple hours, because when you're doing your second fermentation, you only need a couple hours, and it thickened right up. Look at that. With the addition of the fruit, whatever fruit you like, you blend it up, you put it in there, and it thickens it up. So now this is actually yogurt that I can use, and I'm going to use some this morning to make my breakfast. And this thing, this liquid that's on the bottom here, that's called whey, like liquid whey. So when you're buying whey protein powder, this is one of the sources that they use to get it. Now this is, you know, the whey protein powder is much more concentrated. So this little bit of liquid now, you know, will leave a protein. So this is one way of getting yogurt consistency, is mixing it with fruit and flavoring it. I'm going to do a different way today. So this is like, you can get this at any dollar store, Chinese shop, you know what I mean. It's like a regular colander, strainer, thingamajig, and then this is a solid one to catch the whey. So I'm going to put this in here, and then this is not enough of a tight strain. So I'm going to put some cheesecloth in this, 2 of them. So I have my freshly washed cheesecloth here. I'm just going to dump that in here. So it looks like that. And then this kefir that is ready. So let me get a bowl. I don't know if you can see down here. Hopefully you can. But I'm just going to pour this kefir that is now ready into this. Ooh, child. Stop splashing on me. So that's my little contraption that I made to strain out the whey. The longer you strain it, the thicker it's going to become. So if you only strain it for 24 hours, you're going to get like a regular yogurt consistency. You let it go a little longer, maybe 36 hours, you'll get Greek yogurt consistency. Go even longer than that, you can really turn this into like cheese, like a cream cheese, that hard cheese consistency. Yeah. All you need to do is cover this with some saran wrap so that it doesn't pick up the Chinese food and the onion and the garlic smell from the fridge. Cover it with saran wrap, leave it in your fridge for a day or 2 to get the consistency that you want. And it makes really, really thick yogurt. Let me show you some I have in the fridge now. So this yogurt has already been through that process, and look at that. It thick, it not gone away. I think this one was in the fridge for 2 full days before I finally said, all right, let me put it up. My daughter has already used some out of this, but this is all it is. It not take long. You can do it. And, you know, this is another passion of mine, is to encourage people to live a little bit more healthy of a life. So that's why I had to kind of infuse this whole kefir vibe into my little video today, to just encourage you. See, it's not hard. You just buy a few things. Get some mason jars, get the kefir cage, because now that I've poured this out, all I'm going to do is put this back in the jar. You don't even need to wash it every single time. That's not necessary. And fill it up back with milk. And tomorrow, I'll have a whole big old jar of kefir ready to go again to do whatever I want to do. Now, I could tell you a bunch of other things that you can use kefir to do, like I use it to make a fizzy soda pop, the whey that comes out of it. You can also use it to ferment oats, because you know they say oats has phytic acid in it that you're supposed to try. Oats, grains, nuts have this acid that's not really good for you, but when you ferment it like this, it makes the nutrients in it more digestible, more available to you. So I use it to ferment oats, because Munchkin loves oats. I use it to make fizzy soda, like a kombucha, but using liquid whey. I use it to make yogurt, but also when it gets thick like this cheese, I use it to make sauces, so like ranch dressing or like a cheese dip, where I just put garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, maybe some dill in there, whatever flavorings I want, a little bit of paprika, and make a nice little dip and use that with some veggies. It is an all-purpose, like there are a bunch of different recipes online. I'm about to share some of my own on my food channel. I do have a food channel as well that I will link in the description below, so that if this piques your interest and you want to learn more, because I'm not going to do too much of this on my travel channel, but if this piques your interest, please go and follow me on Mo Cooks Healthy, because there I try to share all of my dibble dabbles in trying to live a healthier lifestyle. So this is ready. All I did was pour it out, and put more milk in it, and we're ready for go. So that's gonna ferment for 24 hours, and I'll have another whole batch kefir ready to make into yogurt, or just the softer yogurt like this one, or cheese or whatever. Now, if you feel like you're drowning in it, because obviously I have this big batch, this is going to stay for 48 hours, so that's gonna be a while. But it can become overwhelming, and you feel like you're drowning in kefir, you're drowning in yogurt, you know, need so much in your life. All you do is, instead of putting it out to ferment in 24 hours, put it in the fridge, and it will take several days to ferment. That's all. Nothing wrong. It's easy. Have some kefir in your life. That's where the yogurt where you buy. It's not healthy like this. Trust me. Oh, that smells so good. I have to have some of this. I was trying to decide which one I want, whether the plain, because this is plain. After it stays in here and it strains right out until this consistency. It's plain. You can mix it with honey and berries if you want, or you can do the savory one. That's why I make sure to do some of them savory. Do some of it plain so I can make it into a savory one with the cheese dip that I was saying. But this mango banana one smells so good. So I'm definitely going to use this one this morning to make my breakfast. So let me put back this in the fridge. And I'm also going to cover this one and let that go in the fridge for another 48 hours to strain off. So like I said, the liquid that's down in the bottom of this, that's what I use to make like a fizzy drink. Look up how to make kefir whey soda here on YouTube. That's where I learn all these things. You'll be amazed at the things that you can do with just some kefir grains and a liter of milk, chow. I get so many products from just making this little kefir thing every day. So I just use a spoon and scoop off the top part, which is the thick yogurty part. You can see that it really is a nice thick consistency. And then I add fruit and granola to it, and I'm gonna sweeten it a bit still. I'm gonna use a keto sweetener because we're burn sugar. And then once you get down to the bottom where it's not so thick anymore, you just use that rest to make smoothies. If you don't wanna do all this other stuff that I'm doing, making cheese and, you know, the whole 9 yards, use the bottom part to make some smoothies or some oats. Use it to ferment your oats, as I said. Just put it in the fridge and make overnight oats, and you're good to go. An easy, healthy way to have yogurt every single day. Flavored yogurt like I have here, or plain old yogurt. And it's so healthy for your gut. So to me, living a more meaningful life means having time to do things like this. Things that I want to do. I can't tell you how much joy it brings me knowing, because my daughter loves yogurt. I can't tell you how much joy it brings me knowing that she is getting a healthy yogurt. Sugar-free yogurt. We control how much sweetener we put in it. I control the fruit in it, so I can put organic fruit in it if I want. If we're gonna sweeten it, I can use local honey from, you know, here in Mexico, or I can buy a keto sweetener. Monk fruit is my favorite for these kind of things because monk fruit gives it a nice little toasty flavor. I don't know how to explain that, like a maple type of flavor. And I don't have to set her, because I used to like really regulate her when I bought the big tub of yogurt. I used to say, make sure it lasts for at least 4 servings. So I used to like, I almost used to hate buying the big tub. I wanted to buy the single serve one so she knows she only get one. And I used to be like, there must be a better way. Hell yeah, there is a better way. Make it yourself, and that way she want to fill up the bowl, me the business. Because there's always more. You buy the kefir grains once online, and just keep, all right. So I told you I could talk about this all day long, right? I started by saying, you know, it makes me feel so good to be able to feed my child a healthy, delicious meal like this for breakfast in the mornings for pennies on the dime. And I put my love, my hard work, sweat, all right. It really took me 5 minutes. It didn't take no time at all to make. And that brings me joy, being able to make something healthy for her, to make something healthy for myself. So as I said, it just really starts out with identifying what are those things that will bring you joy. And then once you've identified them, you have to carve out the time for them. Don't make work or friends even, or man, don't make other things take from you what you don't have to give. Remember we were talking about in my last video where you can't pour from an empty cup. You have to fill up like a cup. And it starts with identifying the things that you want to do more in life and then carving out the time to do it. Non-negotiables. Once every Friday, I take a day off from work or whatever, and I go do this thing just for me. How am I sound? Sound good? Well, I hope I got you interested in the kefir making process even a little bit, and you will do some more research on your own and maybe try it out. My name is Monique, and I will be back here sometime soon sharing more of my life adventures here in Mexico with you. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.
So here's my breakfast. This is a big old bowl. Breakfast is served. Delicious. The next step now is to make my own granola because there is sugar in this one that I buy at the store. Coming soon, maybe. We'll see.